In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on August 9, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Cubs versus New York Mets. The Chicago Cubs and New York Mets will wrap up their 3-game series in New York on Wednesday night. The Cubs have battled back to get in the hunt for the National League Central Division, while the Mets have dropped down to 4th in the National League East Division. It is hard to put your money on the Mets at this point. After the departures of Scherzer and Verlander, more changes will likely be afoot this offseason in New York. Manager Buck Showalter could also be gone, as the Mets may go into a mini rebuild to build the roster back up after heavy spending the past few seasons. Meanwhile, the Cubs are a team that has been playing aggressively over the last month and change. They run well, defend well, and have shown signs of life on the mound as well. Cubs starter Hendricks has been very effective on the road with an earned run average under 3 in 7 starts this season. Mets starter Peterson hasn't pitched many innings as of late and may struggle to get very deep into this game. These two teams split their first 4 meetings, though New York blew out the Cubs in their 2 games prior to Tuesday. In those matchups, they outscored Chicago 21-3, and in Monday's series opener they had 12 hits and 3 home runs. In this game, however, New York does not hold an edge in the starting pitching department. Hendricks has a strong sample size of great success against this club. Alonso has hit just .200 against him in 9 career plate appearances, and Lindor is hitless against him in 9 abs. On the other side, Peterson has struggled against the Cubs in his career. I think that continues here as Chicago keeps momentum despite dropping Monday's game against New York. Look for the hot Cubs bats to take advantage of what could turn out to be a bullpen game for the Mets on Wednesday night. So the Chicago Cubs money line is our full game side pick. The Cubs' offense has been thriving in the month of July and came into this series having gone past the total in 5 of their last 6 games. The Cubs hit nearly .270 in the month of July, and that included 31 home runs. The Cubs will run as well if they get on base, swiping 29 bags in the month of July also. As noted, Mets starter Peterson hasn't started lately, making only 1 appearance as a starter in his last 5 games and only going a total of 8.2 innings in his last 5 appearances. The over is 2-1 in their first 4 meetings this season, with the last 2 games averaging 12 total runs per game. Chicago's offense has been scoring some big runs at times over the last couple of weeks, and they've done so in the past against Peterson. Alonso snapped back to life on Monday, which is always a dangerous endeavor, making him hot. It's the last meeting of the season between these two and the last chance to take some mighty swipes. The Cubs carry the bulk of the load, but I believe that the Mets put up plenty to push us. Expect this game to get past the total on Wednesday night in the series finale. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Cleveland Guardians. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Cleveland Guardians resume a 4-game American League series on Wednesday evening. The Blue Jays will give the starting nod to Kevin Gausman. The Guardians will send Logan Allen to the rubber. The Blue Jays recorded a 3-1 win on Monday, and the Guardians replied with a 1-0 win on Tuesday. The Toronto Blue Jays have momentum after issuing a 3-game sweep at Fenway Park prior to this series. The offense is hot, scoring 28 runs in their last 5 games. The Cleveland Guardians appear to have lost confidence. They continue to stumble, dropping 7 of their last 10 games, including a series loss to the White Sox. Furthermore, Blue Jays starter Kevin Gausman has registered a solid 3.12 earned run average in 40 career innings against Cleveland. Guardian starter Logan Allen is a rookie and has hit a bump, conceding 11 runs in his last 3 starts spanning 19 innings. The Guardians are not scoring enough runs to win games. The offense will especially struggle if Jose Ramirez begins serving his suspension. Both starters could use a good showing though, Toronto. Gausman exited after 4.1 innings and 3 earned runs in his last start versus a good Orioles team, but he gave up just 1 earned in 6 innings to the Angels in his start prior. As for Allen, he's coming off 2 earned in 6 innings during his last start, but had surrendered 9 earned in his previous 13 innings. Anything could happen in Game 3. On Tuesday, Toronto wasted a great start from Yusei Kikuchi with the offensive futility. It was the first time the Jays have been held scoreless since July 19th though, and I believe that they'll get it back in Game 3. So the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Gausman will dominate a slumping Guardians offense, propelling the under. The Guardians have scored 3 or fewer runs in 7 of their last 10 games, including a measly 13 runs in their last 5 home games. They have only managed 2 runs in this series. In addition, while I expect the Jays to produce against Allen, the rookie is competitive at home, allowing 2 or fewer runs in 2 of his last 3 home performances. The Guardians' pitching isn't the issue, even in the losses. The under is 7 to 2 to 1 in the Guardians' last 10 games. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Yankees versus Chicago White Sox. A pair of American League teams on the outside of the playoff picture close out an early week series on the diamond on the south side of the Windy City. The New York Yankees finish up a 3-game set on the road against the Chicago White Sox Wednesday night. While the Yankees are still harboring playoff hopes, putrid defensive performances like we saw Monday night have become more the norm than the exception for them over the last couple of months. Throw in the fact that their rotation is in shambles with Domingo German and Carlos Rodon both missing from the mix for the foreseeable future, and things get murkier for the Bronx Bombers. We know the White Sox are going nowhere, but they're at least going down swinging, as we saw over the weekend. Severino has been brutal this season, sporting an earned run average up in Adam Wainwright territory, and has served up an average of 2.5 homers per 9 innings. I get the case to be made for the Yankees here, and it's not often I'm going to back the White Sox probably the rest of the year, but Mike Clevinger's pitched well at home for much of the season, and as much as I can't stand the White Sox in their current form, the Yankees have proven to be so overrated for much of the year as they tend to underperform more often than not. I just feel like the White Sox is where the value lies on Wednesday, so the Chicago White Sox money line is our full game side pick. New York has seen the under post a 58 to 50 to 5 mark in their 113 games this season entering Tuesday. The Yankees are tied for 21st in runs per game with 4.29 runs a night, though that number climbs to an average of 4.44 runs per game on the road. New York has posted an average total of 8.58 runs per game this season, and that number climbs to 8.94 runs per game on the road. The White Sox went into Tuesday having seen the under post a 57 to 49 to 8 mark in their first 114 games. Chicago is 25th in the majors with 4.11 runs per game, a number that falls slightly to 4.02 runs per game at home this season. The White Sox have an average total of 9.01 runs per game on the year. That number drops to an average of 8.85 runs per game as the home team this year. With shaky pitching for the Yankees and the potential that the bats may actually break out for once, lean toward this one winding up past the total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.